What's up, guys? It's Brian from Astro Hub. It's about 10:36 actually, Eastern Time, AM Eastern Time. March 1st, new month here, 2018. We got a trading video on Bitcoin that we're going to go over here. But before we get into that, if you're new to us, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you're on YouTube, if you're on DTube or Steam It, subscribing to us and re-steaming, upvoting would all be greatly appreciated too. If you're not on DTube or Steam It, links are down below. Definitely check it out. Also, we have giveaways. I think today is Thursday, right? Yeah, today's Thursday. I was up late last night trading, so I don't really remember all too well what day it is right now. But yeah, we have giveaways usually on the weekends, usually on Saturdays. The first giveaway was last weekend, and now we're gonna have another one. So let's get right into it here. Last we had spoken, I think we were around here, if I'm not mistaken, and we were thinking about possibly this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave coming down. That does not look like that happened. You could count this as 5 waves right here. It just doesn't seem to look right. So what we're actually counting it as is we're actually counting this as an ABC right now. ABC. That's what it looks like. This could possibly be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up. Lots of weird, really odd types of patterns going on in Bitcoin, and that's usually a sign of a correction. A lot of oddness going on with the patterns, and it usually happens more towards the end of corrections. Not to say that this is definitely or definitively the end of the correction, but it could be a telling sign of that happening there. On a 4-hour basis, we're still holding this 10,240 line right here as a potential hidden support line. We have this drawn in right here. The market has come down and crossed just below it on this candle here. Low is about 10,223.41, and that's obviously very close to 10,240. The previous candle, the low was 10,255.07, and yeah, that's where we're at. So it bounced off nicely off of this level right here, and it had moved up definitively from there. Our next support line is on a 1-hour basis, and that is right here. I'm going to call this 10,624. 10,624. That's where we're at right now. It looks like the market has tried to come down right here. The low on this market, on this candle right here, on a 1-hour basis is 10,660.66, and that's where the low made right here. We still have about 20 minutes, just over 20 and a half minutes left over on this candle. So the way this is going to work with the 1-hour candle right here, the 1-hour support line right here, in the event that the market comes down significantly below it, then it basically breaks this, and we delete this line. This line can be used as 3 different levels. This line can be used as a hidden support level for low risk entries for the market to continue to move up. It also can be a sign of reversal. If the market moves down significantly below it, it signs a reversal of obviously things going from bullish to bearish. And it's also a place to put in stop loss levels somewhere around this. And like what I said before, the first uses of it being used as a low risk entry, it's a great place to start putting in laddering, and that's exactly what we did right here. And I need to start to talk more about how we trade. And my apologies there. So yes, we did start laddering around this range right here, okay? Because yes, Elliott wave theory is not foolproof. Nothing is foolproof. On a 1-hour basis, we have the Laguerre right here, which kind of bottomed out, all right? And then it moved up from here, okay? So that is also a telling sign that possibly this thing may move up. On a 4-hour basis, we had basically something the opposite, right? We thought that this may come down a little bit more. It only got to this, only got to the blue line right here, the 0.2 blue line right here, and then it moved up from there. Normally that really doesn't happen with the Laguerre You know, it happened back here, but it normally, if you look back in time, it doesn't really happen all that very much. So I was thinking possibly this may come down a little bit more. It didn't, and then the market reversed from there. Anyway, we still had our 4-hour hidden support level in right there, which really tells us a lot. So my apologies there. I'm going to have to start talking more about how we're actually trading. Yeah, we can, you know, you can kind of glean more information from there. So, like I said before, Elliott wave analysis is not, you know, a deterministic type of analysis. No real technical analysis really is. It's a matter of skewing the probabilities in your way. So that's what we got. That's what we got going on here. You know, on a 1-hour basis, we are a little bit bearish, thinking possibly this may turn over, possibly make a little bit of a lower low here. On a 4-hour basis, we are you know, slightly bullish. We're thinking that possibly this could break out even a little bit more on a 4-hour basis. If that's the case, if this continues to move up, then we will take this hidden support level and we will continue to move it up. All right. 55 EMA, you know, 200 moving average. Not really much to say along those levels. Yeah, it's really kind of a wait and see what happens type of market right now. There's a lot of various different ways you can start counting things and looking at things, and I'm a bit shy to do it. I'm a bit coy to do it because I feel that people look to Elliott wave analysis as being the end-all be-all as far as getting into trades is concerned, and that's not the way. That is not the way to use it. Also, at the same time, the probability of my top 3 counts are pretty much about the same. They're pretty much even. So I'd like to hold off just here just a bit before I start really counting things in more deterministically. I am pretty confident that this is an ABC level right here. And then possibly we may be making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up. If we zoom in here a bit more, you know, we may have this may have been our 1, 2. This could be a 3, 4. This could have been a 5, right? I'm a bit shy about going about and doing that. Reason being is that we had kind of an extended fifth right here, or another way you can count this right here is an extended third, okay, where we have a 1, 2. This could be a 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, so we could possibly have the same type of, you know, fractal nature of this coming here, where really this is kind of a, you know, 1, 2, and then we would have a 3, 4, and then we would have a 5 coming up. That would be a similar fractal nature to the Elliott wave count here that is very similar to what's going on here. I am still also holding out the possibility of you know, YXZ coming from this, you know, coming from this larger WXYXZ. I'm still holding out for that. It would be a little odd. It's not 100% matching with Elliott wave theory, but sometimes these things don't necessarily you know, don't necessarily 100% fit into, you know, stringent, strict Elliott wave theory. So yeah, let's take a look at some Fibonacci ratios to see kind of where we are. Let's just take a look to see where we are. So on a Fibonacci retracement basis, you know, the market had made it back down to this 0.236 level, right? Over here, more importantly, what I want to look at from trough to peak and back down, the market has come down below this 0.382, call it almost halfway between 0.382 and 0.5. I would have liked to have seen a deeper retracement here, but you know, yeah, it is significant enough to call it a bit of a bit of a correction coming off this a motive wave right here. Another thing I also want to take a look at is exactly what has happened a little bit more of a finite nature. Okay, what happened about this right here, and how did we retrace back? Okay, so we made it back down to the 0.382, and the low of this, let's zoom in a bit more here. The low of this, again, it was about 10,223.41. That's somewhere around here. Yeah, somewhere around here. So you can say it retraced well past the 0.382, and I would say about 2/3 of the way between 0.382 and 0.5. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's very similar to what has happened here, right? From coming from the lows here to the highs up here and back down, right? It's very similar in nature. And so, you know, that very well could be the case where this is all the retracement that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 needed in order to make a landing zone from which to spring off of, you know, coming up here. I don't want people to get caught out. There's an equivalent probability of this coming back down. Okay, equivalent probability of this coming back down. Okay, this could be a larger 1, 2, where we have a 3, 4, and a 5 coming back down. Don't fool yourself over that. Okay, don't get FOMO. Okay. You know, I see some messages, you know, out there, you know, coming to us. Some people saying thanks for you know, for helping me kind of get over my FOMO, and some people saying, shit, you know, I bought like right at the breakout right here, and it's sold off. Okay, you know, that could be a good trade over time, but it's just not the way in which I like to trade. Okay, the way in which I like to trade is you know, similar to like here. Okay, maybe let's look at it a little bit closer. I don't want to make these videos too long because I find that people don't like that. But basically, we had a hidden support zone here at a 10,240, and that's kind of where I start laddering things in. It's also a place where there's some congestion right here, right? So I go ahead and I say, where could I possibly think that the market may stop if this continues to come down? Okay, the market where I could place my stop losses. Well, I could place my stop losses somewhere around here too, right? I could place them somewhere right around here too. And I look at the payoff possibility, right? I look at possibly it could move up here, it could come down here. You know, just eyeballing it right off the bat, it could be about a 50-50%. You know, risk to reward. Okay, it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. I don't like to take 1-to-1 risk to reward type of trades, but what I would be doing is I'd be very aggressive on my stop losses and moving them up here, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. Okay, that's exactly what I'm doing right here with this level right here, 10,624. Okay, I didn't move this level up here until we had this large candle here. All right, so if the market is to come down here, I'm going to go ahead and I'll be getting out a majority of my position. If not, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue to let it ride up, and I'm going to move this stop loss up. Okay, I'm going to almost like a trailing stop loss. I mean, it is actually a trailing stop loss. I just don't calculate it in a percentage term like a lot of other people do as far as trailing stop losses are concerned. So that's really about it for right now. Ligera RSI on a 1 hour basis is coming down. Oh, let's update this channel, this crazy channel, which still seems to be in effect. The RSI has come down here, touched it. Let's see what happens if it continues to break down below it. This is on a 30-minute basis. On a 1 hour basis, yeah, it pretty much did the same type of thing. let's take a look at things. Well, let's go over this. So on a 1 hour basis, Laguerre is overbought. It's possibly maybe looking to turn down. You know, we're also thinking on independent algorithms. We are thinking that possibly this thing could turn down on a 1 hour basis. We may find ourselves in a bit of a correction on a 4 hour basis. 4 hour basis. Let's reset this chart real quick. On a 4 hour, I hate the way it resets it. Anyway, on a 4 hour basis. Excuse me, 4 hour basis. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty bullish. It's not it's not super bullish. I would like this candle to be, the body to be much bigger, much bigger. Like the wicks to be a little bit smaller. Same thing here. I'd like the wick to be a little smaller. Same thing here. I'd like the wick to be a little bit smaller. We have about 8 minutes left of this candle right here. Let's be interesting to see what happens with this next candle here. If it's bearish, it could sign possibly things, you know, looking to come back down. But on a 4 hour basis, yeah, I mean, the Laguerre RSI kissed the bottom here, the 0.2, and it looks like it's moving back up again. Also on independent algorithms on a 4 hour basis, we are also bullish. We are also bullish. So we're gonna leave it there for right now, and I hope you guys have a great day and a great day trading. Speak to you guys soon. Thanks.